today's episode, I will share with you a huge misconception between consciousness, unconsciousness, subconsciousness, and self-consciousness. Yes, I know it can be confusing. Let me bring some light to this misconception. Now, how can someone be either in a subconscious or unconscious state of mind? The distinction between both is a subtle one. The noun subconscious refers to the mind's activities just beneath consciousness, like a sub-level of the conscious mind, and a part of it devoted to such activities. The unconscious, by contrast, is the part of the mind that exerts a strong influence on behavior but is not noticed by one consciousness. So what does consciousness mean anyway? Conscious comes from the Latin word conscire, meaning be aware or know, and consciousness refers to the state of awareness or knowledge. Now, the term is used both in the conventional sense of being in a conscious state, not asleep, or unconscious, and in the spiritual sense of being aware of more than just one basic physical existence. Now, other terms that derive from this root include consciousness, which refers to the part of your mind that serves as a moral compass, and self-conscious, which originally refers neutrally to self-awareness, but now can connote acting in deliberate manner and understanding the reality of their actions, behaviors, and so much more. Now, the key to achieving ultimate spiritual ground is when one have reached self-awareness and self-consciousness, and it is able to distinctly understand the path needed to be taken to attain mindfulness. Now let's delve deeper into the difference between subconsciousness and unconsciousness. Sub means below something else, and un means the opposite of the original word. A level below another level is a sub-level. An event that is not likely to happen is unlikely to happen. Prefixes aren't always this straightforward as you may assume. By extension of the same rules, unconscious would mean not conscious, and subconscious would mean below consciousness. Now, the difference between not conscious and below consciousness might seem trivial at best, but in certain situations, subconscious or unconscious have specific uses, and it's important to pay attention to which is the correct term to use when dealing with different cases. Subconscious is sometimes an adjective, where it refers to thoughts and processes in the mind of which a person is not directly aware. Desires, motivation, and fears can often be subconscious. Now, in other words, something is said to be subconscious when it is beneath your conscious. Now, you're still awake and perceiving the outside world, but there's something beneath or perhaps beyond your conscious that is also influencing you. Now, a subconscious negative feeling you have towards a type of food might be the result of getting food poisoning from it as a child that you have since forgotten. Something that is subconscious is usually passive, and you're not actively thinking about it. Now, let me clarify what unconscious thing or mind really conveys to most people. Now, unconscious as an adjective means not awake or passed out, a condition often brought about through use of force. Unconscious is sometimes also used synonymously with asleep. Now, how do you really understand the difference? If a person has fallen asleep or been knocked out, they are unconscious, not subconscious. Now, if a person is alert but doesn't realize they're thinking or doing something, the thought or action is subconscious, not unconscious. Now, fears or desire that motivate a person, but of which that person is not directly aware, are also subconscious. Now, I hope I didn't confuse you more than needed. I agree it can be sometimes or somewhat mind-boggling trying to decipher which is which, especially when your conscious mind is calling upon a specific part of the brain. But based on what I tried to explain, I think I simplified the terminology and the difference between both sub and unconscious mind. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Hope this episode gave you a little more insight on understanding how the mind works, the reasons why some struggles with challenges while others manage these same challenges with ease and simplicity. Psychiatrists and psychologists have studied the mind for centuries, but still are working on why the mind processes information a certain way. Why do some humans are more prone to mental illnesses versus others? Or how some are more vulnerable to addiction where others can easily stop a bad habit from lingering in their life for too long. Humans are unique species who have the ability to heal themselves with proper tools and training. Now, we all deal with the many uncertainties of life, but some allow these uncertainties to drain them from their energy and keep them sick mentally and physically, which benefits the many pharmaceutical companies around the world. They want to keep you sick. Now, we all know that life is not easy, but it's really up to you to decide how you want to manage it. Now, you can't really control everything happening in your life, so for the things that are out of your control, it is important to determine how much of a lesson you want to learn from your experiences. Now, for all that to happen, you must learn how to identify triggers that puts you in a depressing state of mind and how to cope with these symptoms when they are polluting your consciousness. Now, we all can deal with some stress in our lives, but too much of it is unhealthy. Anxiety can lead to severe depression and suicide, so when left untreated, it may bring in a total wave of other problems that can become overwhelming and difficult to handle. Try avoiding falling in that trap and get the help from a professional who can assist you throughout this whole ordeal. Now, ignoring your issues won't solve the problem, just like trying to ignore the IRS letters for a probable audit. Now, every problem in life already has a solution glued to it. You just need to figure out how to find it. Now, hope this episode was helpful, and stay tuned for our future episode coming up soon. Now, if you happen to have any further questions or require assistance or therapy, do not hesitate to contact me at the number below so we can address your problem together and find a solution that is already there. Until then, my friend, stay healthy, stay wise, and stay happy. My name is Dr. Dan Amzallag, and I'm your virtual coach.